Hi, everybody. I'm so sorry for some technical issues that I don't know if you guys saw or didn't see. We were trying to do this video on Facebook Live, but unfortunately it didn't work. So, we were trying to do it on YouTube Live, but unfortunately it didn't work. So we're going to do it here. So I'm just waiting for Poochie to hop on. I'm waiting for you guys to hop on, and then hopefully we will get started. Hi, Anna. Can you hear me okay, honey? Can you hear me? I was trying to turn on these headphones. We've been having some. Hi, Renata. Sorry about that, honey. We're having some tech issues. You did see it. That's so funny. That's so funny because we were a hot mess. Sorry about that. As soon as Poochie hops on, I'm going to add him to the video, and then we'll get started. So I hope you guys brought your questions. We're going to talk about the difficulties that returning citizens face after they get out and they get reintegrated back into their normal life. There's some hiccups and some just issues that they face. Anna, you were on the live. I wonder if I can tag. No worries, I'm finally off during the live. That's so funny. I wonder if I could tag Poochie on this. Let's see. Oh, there he is. Let's bring him online. Yay. It's just going to take a second to add him on here, and then we'll get started. I'm so excited that you're here, Renata. We did it!
What's up?
Hey, I don't know why my headphones aren't working. This is just like not our night for technology, but that's okay.
Today's the worst day ever.
I know.
But it's good.
He's in a studio. He's all professional, ready to go. If you guys saw the live before, I'm a little bit jealous of my non-working Bluetooth whatever. Anyway, so let's get started. Really quick, we'll have Poochie introduce himself. He was on one of our most watched Facebook Lives and YouTube videos ever. We did an interview when he first got out. I think he was like 4 to 6 months out. And we decided we wanted to do a follow-up so he could discuss the hiccups that he faced and just the trials and tribulations of somebody as they are re-entering. So do you want to give us your background and tell us where the thought for this video came from?
Yeah, how's everybody doing? Can you hear me good?
How about some thumbs up, you guys, and emojis if you could hear Poochie?
Can you listen to me good?
You sound great to me. We're getting good emojis. Yeah, you're good.
Okay, good. Well, for those who haven't met me through here, my name is Sabalo Poochie. I've been out about a year and 3 months now, and the thought for this video and this interview was really some of the things I been going through since I've been home. In the beginning, I'm still positive, but you know, there's a lot of times when we're inside and we come out, there's some of the things that are really going to happen we don't even think about. So a lot of the obstacles that get in the way, we kind of tend to overlook them, and then they kind of get in the way of where we're trying to go, and it sets us back a little bit. Not that we can't bounce back from anything that happens in life, but they kind of slow you down a little bit, and it's so easy to get thrown off track. Like, you know, and I say that from a perspective of I was trained to actually live positively and work towards my successes and my vision of success and all that. But a lot of people don't have the same training that we got, that we fortunately were able to get inside. And for somebody who's like, and I don't smoke weed anymore, so that's not one, but I drank. So sometimes it's easy to let alcohol get in the way of some of the things you're trying to do. Not just alcohol, anything, women, alcohol, drugs, it depends the person, the individual. Give the best answers we can give you, because either you're part of Strong Prison Wives, or either you have someone who's been home, or they're coming home, or they're still inside. So it's good to prepare. If you're aware of what's going on and what can happen, then it'll be a little easier to encounter it.
So what were some of those setbacks that you were talking about?
Setbacks. Just okay. While we're inside, you don't have bills, really.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really have bills. You live on the minimum amount of income, and you survive and you live okay if you're not like a drug addict. So, well, you come out and all this hits you full force. I'm lucky. I had a great support system. My family's always been in my corner, but everybody doesn't have. Everybody doesn't come home to a great support system, and so to be prepared and to know that you got gas bill, light bills, rent, car note, insurance. There's all these things that are, and they're not even setbacks. They're real life problems. But transitioning from prison to coming out, this is something that we need to get prepared for. And unfortunately, while inside, they don't educate you on this. If you don't do all this on your own, like educate yourself beforehand, then learning how to transition is going to be so much harder because it's going to hit you full force. So with me, so my setbacks, I mean, honestly, I like to socially drink, right? Socially drink. So, and then, and girls get involved. So it's like those things can really throw you off if you're not focused. If you don't have your eye on the prize and completely focus on what it is you want to accomplish, you can easily, 2 weeks becomes 2.5 months, 2.5 months becomes 7 months, and you start going to the gym. Like, I was really, I came home, I was really focused on working out heavy. So, like, you drink, you're not going to go to the gym workout the next day because you're tired, your body's beat up. So that kind of, it snowballs. It's a snowball effect. It's a snowball effect that happens without you even noticing. So the key is, and I'm bouncing back now, but the reason I wanted to do this video with Ro, and I've been talking to her about it for a few weeks, is because it's real and it's gonna happen. And not that you don't need anybody constantly on you. When I say I'm about to bounce back, doesn't mean that I'm completely fell off, but you need to refocus. But everyone doesn't know that they need to refocus. I feel like I'm able to refocus because I was lucky enough to get trained and to know where I want to go and what I need to do. Everybody doesn't have that point of view on life. Well, that's the reason. My setbacks, huh, Ro? Thank you for that setup.
You used the word. I was just mirroring what you said. But Renata has a really good question. She said, how, and let me clarify something really quickly before I ask this question, because it kind of goes together. Poochie, you guys, is single. So when he said girls, I don't want you guys to get scared that they're going to come out and automatically want girls and you've been in his life the whole time. I know that there's red flags that we've talked about that you guys could look out for if that would be a thing with your person, but it's not. I just want to clarify that you didn't have a girlfriend for 10 years or a wife for, let's say, the 10 years you were in and got out and girls were kind of like the carrot that was dangling, and that's what was distracting you, because I know that a lot of our members are fearful of that, and I just want to clarify. So Renata said, how does the support system ease you back into reality? For example, your bills. How does having somebody there to support you help you?
When I say support, it's not completely all about, I don't mean only money. I mean, obviously you need some type of income to be able to survive. But when I say support system, I just mean all around the board. Like, sometimes guys you don't even have a ride to get to motor vehicle. Like, every little task becomes a huge task.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to get on 3 buses to go to DMV, and then you got to go to Social Security to get your Social Security card. And all these things take time, and it's easy to get discouraged when when I came home, it was May of last year. So now it's getting hot. So in June, I'm going to DMV. If I don't have the people there that are able to take me places and do these different things, imagine me trying to catch 3 buses in the blistering heat. Why wouldn't I think about going back to selling drugs?
Sure.
It's so easy. That would make you. But when you have that encouragement and people see you doing good, they always want to help you. If they see you doing bad, they're not going to want to help somebody that doesn't want to help themselves. So the support system is kind of like that little encouragement, that little push. I mean, we're grown men. We can't have anyone holding our hand, but at the same time, just not being kicked while you're down, because we're down. Like, it's easy to come out with super low self-esteem. You come home with no money, You could be in great shape, but your mind frame is not the same. You've been broke by the system, because that's what they do. They mentally try to destroy you, at least. They mentally try to destroy you. You come out with minimal amount of money, and now you're trying to move around. And while you're in prison, you can adapt. While you're out, it's like, damn, this is not who I am. If you're somebody who's used to being in the streets and getting things your own way, it's so easy to fall back. So the support system is really like the encouragement, the being there. Of course, again, financial is always good, but we have to get a job. But what I mean is just that there's little things that become so big when you don't have people in your corner.
Yeah. Okay. So one thing that I appreciate, well, there are so many things that I appreciate about you, but I so appreciate that you're so real and honest with us. And because you're not going to sit here and BS us and tell us what you think we want to hear. And I know that's what SPWF members need. And I remember one of the first calls we had after not speaking for a little while you were kind of going through your thing and facing those hiccups was you told me all the reasons. And then you said, but I could sit here and make all of these excuses, but that's just what they are. They're excuses. And I need to take matters into my own hands. And I loved when you said that, because that's a lot of the reason why guys go inside is because they don't want to take accountability and they don't want to stop making the excuses. So let me ask you this. What was the work that you did? I'm going to put you on the spot right now. I'm sorry, but what was the work that you did on the inside? And then what was the disconnect when you got out that it didn't quite transfer, or that it kind of like fell to the wayside for a little while? I know you kind of answered that before, but for our members, how can they help the guys when they're inside? What is that work? And then how can they not get disconnected like you did?
The work was like that key word that you said, accountability. Having men like myself, like-minded individuals who hold you accountable for every action that you do and everything that you say. Like, the work obviously was, that I became a life coach while I was in there, and I became a workforce development specialist, which kind of, and going through that process, it makes you, I had to do a lot of inner work on myself. Before I could coach anyone, to help anyone, or even be able to talk like this, I had to do a lot of work within myself to figure out who I was, where I wanted to go, and the things I wanted to accomplish. Now, fast forward to being released, it's like, okay, I'm still that person. I'm focused, and I was so positive. If you could, like, side by side before and after these videos, you could see I sound like it's like two different. No. This Galaxy 9. It's how can I say? We can't get on the screen. We can't get on that screen. Fast forward to coming home, it's like, okay, yes, I still speak the language, and I focus on my accountability and my integrity, and still being the person I want to become. But little by little, not having those conversations daily, not having those people to hold you accountable and speak the same language that we were speaking while in there, it kind of, not that it fades away, because it's in there, and I can call you and me and you talk for hours, and you kind of pull my card on what I'm doing, and you ask me all the necessary questions. But to be there physically where I can just turn around, I like to say we used to have this thing called the vent where we vent. The vent where we vent, because we used to speak. It was 2 cells, and a great friend of mine, Khalid Thompson, he was next door, and we were like, we lived next door to each other, and we could speak through the vents. So 1, 2, 3 in the morning, we're up all night, and we just hold each other accountable. He's also a coach in the inside from Philadelphia. So not having that, not being able to vent through the vent, like on call like that, and then when you come home, everybody wasn't speaking the same language that I was speaking. They hear me talking, they're like, this guy sounds like an alien. This is not the Pooch we know from before. So it's like, you start cutting people off because you can't relate anymore. So it's either you cut them off, don't relate no more, or little by little you kind of lean back into the drinking and the girls and the things, not the thing. I'm not gonna say the things that brought me to prison, because I'm never going back to prison, not because of doing something like I used to do, but it just it out of sight, out of mind kind of thing almost.
Mm-hmm.
You don't practice it, so it's kind of difficult to That's funny. Here it is. Oh, sorry, my phone was dying. I had to put it to charge.
That's okay, no problem. So, okay, there you are. Oh,
Okay.
there you are. You froze for a sec. Poochie, how long were you in for? Renata wants to know.
9 years.
9 years.
Yep.
Okay, so here's a question. How can these women help their men while they're inside? Because not everybody has the amazing program that McKean has or had when you were there. So do you have any resources that you want to pass along? Do you do anything with them? Do you have any programs that they can maybe look at, or something that they can send along or do with their loved ones to help them start the process of changing?
Well, Strong Prison Wives is a great program.
Yeah,
for them. Yeah, right. We are a great program. I mean, honestly, it's so hard because we had a program in place, right, that we created on the inside, right? And we had this whole plan set in place to where we're going to come out and in the Pittsburgh area, we're going to implement the program. Now, another fellow coach of ours, Michael Talley, he's in Pittsburgh now, and he works with them. But there's a lot of obstacles that get in the way of, let's call it what, bureaucracy? That's what it's called. And it's hard. It's been hard to get the program off the ground. So to say that there's a program that I'm going to vouch for, that I know. I mean, I know in Vegas, John Ponder has that great program for guys who come home. But this is in Las Vegas. I don't know. I heard he's going national soon. So I really do. I don't know the gist of the whole thing. But I mean, if they need advice, I know they can go to you. They can inbox me. We can talk whenever they want. Like, I'm open for that because I actually need that in my life. So you would be doing me a favor, questioning me, asking me any type of questions, because I need to be able to help people again.
Well, we could do these more often as well. And we won't have the crazy technical difficulties next time, and I'm sure we'll have more people on. So I think that'll help you. And then I guess you and we can get together after this throughout the week or next week, and we can come up with a list of maybe books or resources or websites that we can send people to, or that they can pass along to their loved ones, to start that process of changing things. Because just like you said, getting out is not made easy for you guys. The bureaucracy, the red tape, and all of that stuff, because unfortunately, the way that the system is set up, it's set up for recidivism. It's set up for that revolving door. And you have to fight so hard to work against it, just like you said. And something that I've noticed, and a lot of our members have noticed, is that it is around the 6-month mark when people, like you use the phrase out of sight, out of mind, and you're absolutely right. It was a beautiful way to put it, that it's kind of behind them. And now it's time for them to, like, for some reason, party or whatever they have to do, sow their wild oats. So what do you think about going back to the place where you came from? Would you suggest that people try to relocate if they can, or, like you said, try to cut off old friends and associates? Or what's the best way to go about, one, should you relocate, and two, if you're dropped right back into the place where you were and you have to go back there?
Ideally, if you can, relocate. Ideally, if you can. If you have the financial means, and if your family's strong enough where they can go from one place to another, and that would be the best thing to do. Renata, as a federal inmate, they don't allow you to go back for like at least 3 years, and then you have to ask permission. So that, not really. I haven't been able to. I've talked to some of the guys who I was, before this, we were doing a test run, and Cantu got on, and I brought him in. So I was talking to my man Cantu. He's in Michigan. He's another incredible coach. He's like one of the founders of our program. So along with Rose's husband Adam and Keith, There's a bunch of great guys. Yeah, we talk from time to time, but life is busy and it's fast. It's so hard. Like, I got 2 jobs, they got 2 jobs. Like, there's things like when you're a guy person like me, for instance, and a person like I know Cantu was, and we used to get fast money. So now the only way to get money even a little bit close to that way is to have 2, 3 jobs and to still do different kinds of hustles. Not anything illegal, but just try to do everything to because we just like a certain kind of lifestyle. That's why I know for me, for him, for us, success is inevitable. It's just about when the timing is right. It just keep pushing. That's all.
Yeah, I actually recently heard somebody on their podcast yesterday say something along the lines of like, being an entrepreneur and running a successful business is like parallel with being a really good drug dealer. You need all the same skills and traits. So like you said, you will be successful. You just have to put that energy into something legal. Okay, so here's like another on the spot question. Have you been tempted to go back and chase that fast money? Because it's hard to work 3 jobs for anybody. So, and then if you have been tempted, what stopped you?
You know what's crazy? You know that I've been. It's obvious. I live where I grew up.
Yeah.
I'm in Jersey, New Jersey. I grew up here, so of course it's been tested. But I'm almost repulsed by like people that. Now I'm not repulsed because I'm not judging anyone. But when I see people still in that lifestyle, it's like I'm so scared. I've been in prison for 9 years without any female contact and without being able to see my family, and me being in the mountains in McKean where it snows for 9 months out the year. Like, there's no way that I'm going back to prison. I don't even want to talk to you if you're doing something that might jeopardize yourself. So imagine how I feel about me. I love myself too much to want to go back to prison. Hell no. So have I been tempted? I'm going to say no. Has the opportunity been there? Yes, it has. But I'm like, it's not even an option. But on the flip side to that coin is everybody doesn't have that point of view. And it's so easy. It's so easy. So easy to do it again. It's like,
What do you
man. I
think?
thank God for just the.
Oh, go ahead.
What?
Go ahead. You can finish.
I just thank God for the people in my corner for just being there for me and just making my transition as easy as possible.
So let's say one of our members has her husband and it's there and the opportunity presented itself. How do you advise her? What are some of the suggestions and the tips that you have for her when she's supporting him to get him back on track and to steer him away from doing that?
What would he even tell her?
Good question.
Is she gonna know? At that point, it's like I come home, like devil's advocate right now, right? I come home, my girl just rode my whole bid with me, just did all my time with me. I feel like I have to hide. I would feel like I have to hide what I'm doing if I'm trying to do something illegal. Do you get it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, Michelle, that's a whole lot of writing.
I know I wanted to read it. I'm afraid to click my phone and knock us off. But okay, so let's say he's not telling her, right? He's hiding, but she has, he trips up sometimes and she has some sort of a feeling that it's happening. And in her intuition, she feels like something's off. Should she confront him? Should she leave him? What's your advice as somebody in the opposite? I have my advice as far as being a woman and a girl who did all that time with him, but what's your advice as being in his shoes?
What do I want to hear my wife tell me if I'm thinking about dabbling or if I'm back dabbling? That's what you mean?
Yeah.
What would convince me to not do it?
Yeah.
To stop. If we have a family, the kids, do you really want to go home? It depends on the record. Like, next time they're going to smoke you. You're going to do at least another 10 years. Are you 40 years old? Do you really want to come home when you're almost 60? Your mom might pass away while you're like, there's so many things. It really depends on the individual, because a lot of guys, and I'm going to be blunt, have the I don't give a fuck attitude. So they don't care about shit. So this is just depending on the growth that you've done while you're in prison. Have you learned your lesson? Because everyone doesn't learn their lesson. It really depends on the individual. But for me, you just have to, I mean, my mother, my father, my brothers, my nephews, I don't have any kids, but for me not being able to interact with them on a daily basis, like I already did that for way too long. There's no way I could risk that again.
When you were inside,
I feel indebted.
You feel indebted. When you were inside, in the beginning, were you doing your thing and not being on the right track? Like, what did it take for you to get on the right track?
Just being around the right, just being around the right people.
Okay.
The guys I just Cantu, Adam, those guys drilled me. I mean, drilled me for like 2 years before I even thought about joining the program. And I was cool with them because, you know, we're just cool. We lived in the same unit. So me and Cantu did. So all the time it was constantly like, yo, come down. Do some of the core classes. And I finally just went, and it was like, I felt at home.
So for somebody that doesn't have a Cantu or an Adam or a Keith or whomever, how could he go about seeking that out? I imagine, I mean, from the things that I've heard, it's kind of difficult, right? To like just go up to somebody and be like, hey, you want to coach me? Like it's weird, right? So how do you go about finding that type of, or building that type of a relationship?
Read. You got to read. If you're by yourself, you can be by yourself in solitary. If you can send to all the ladies listening, if you can send your husband The Compound Effect, it's like a 60-page book. It's like this. That's probably the best book I've ever read in my life. And it just gives you a whole different perspective on how to achieve anything you want in life. So, I mean, it's just that, because there's a million self-help books out there.
Awesome. The Compound
Oh, you
Effect.
said The Compound Effect. I mean, just that. Get them to read. Like, as a woman, if that's your man, look into self-help books that you think might relate to them, or you know, similar stories that because there's a lot of guys who've been in prison and become success stories. So like Chef Jeff and John Ponder, like all these guys, they have books. So if you could send these books, they could be inspirational. What's that? Sean? What's Sean? He's a lawyer. What's his name?
Hopwood.
His last name?
Hopwood.
Sean Hopwood. Amazing book he has. Like, these is guys who were in prison and became successes. So any of these books could be inspirational.
And
Muhammad Ali, there's so much.
I'll put links to all of those books when we put this on YouTube, in the YouTube description, and also below this one on Facebook, because these are excellent books I didn't even think about. Renata wanted to know, why did you have to go to Social Security when you got out?
Because you need your Social Security card. You can't do anything without your Social Security card. Like, if you want to apply for credit, you need your Social Security card, your Social Security number at least. And without the card, you just have to get it. I didn't mean to go to Social Security like for help. I meant Social Security to get my card.
Got it. Sorry, I'm just trying to read Michelle's comment. I'm afraid to press my phone to see more because I don't want to disconnect us before I accidentally paused it. She wants to know, she understood what you were saying, but she wants to know if you needed to update. If you needed to update anything, like anything else.
I did my birth certificate. The birth certificate I had was actually from when I was born, the year I was born. So it didn't have the holograms in it. So a lot of older guys, well, my age, I'm 36. So if you have only like your original birth certificate, some places won't take them anymore because the new ones have like these holograms in it just to prevent fraud.
And driver's license, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Did you have any difficulty getting that back?
No. You just go down. I went down right here, and they'll give it to you right away on the same day. But just have your original one with you, and some type of ID or whatever.
anything else that, or was there any difficulty with anything renewing or getting anything?
Well, I had an out-of-state license before because I got my cases from Florida, so I never had a New Jersey driver's license. So I had to get my what's that called? Like my driving history from Florida to be able to get my driver's license in Jersey, just so they can compare the two, just that kind of stuff. That's fairly simple. But again, if you don't have somewhere to go or how to print the stuff out, or or the resources necessary, then it might be a little harder. Damn, I could never go next. Bro, I wasn't able to share this on my page.
We'll figure out all the technology. We'll do this again like in a couple weeks or a month, and we'll figure out all the technology in between. Or since you're very close, we can get together and do it in person.
Oh yeah, we got an invitation to do it here live, both of us.
Oh, thank you. This way we could do it on both of our lives, right? We could do it on both if we're together.
Yeah, if we're both here, yeah.
Yeah.
If we're both here, of
so
course.
What advice would you give? Like, okay, that's awesome. Thank you. I'm so impressed, you guys. He's at like a professional studio, and I have my janky headphones that aren't even working. You win. So what advice would you give?
Hold on. I'm at the professional studio, but remember it didn't work. So this is my phone. That's our producer right there from the professional studio. We're at Phoenix MPM Radio. We'll get it right. We're gonna.
What's his podcast?
That what?
What's the name of the podcast that our professional producer produces?
Oh, it's the U. Here, hold on.
You can see it?
Can you see it?
Yeah.
You, me, we.
Right? You, me, we.
You, me, we podcast is amazing.
It's amazing. So if somebody wants to pop that in the comments, that would be helpful. And it's something that they work really hard on. And it's awesome. Okay, so really quick, if let's say he gets out, right, and he falls off the wagon and he's starting to hit the street again, how many chances do you think she should give him? I know that that's not a black and white question, and I would probably answer it differently than other people, but from your point of view, somebody who did time, right, you come out, it's inevitable that you're going to mess up. How many chances would you expect to get?
How many I want? None.
Good answer. Okay. Why?
Me, because if I'm an asshole, and pardon my French, if I didn't already do all this time and come home and do the same retarded stuff that I was doing before, what's the definition of insanity?
Go ahead.
To continue to do the same thing and expect different results. So that's just insane. Why would I want to be with an insane person? That makes no sense.
And I want to be with somebody who that's their answer. And you guys want to be with somebody that's their answer, because the answer should never be as many as I need or as many as it takes, because he did his mess up and he should be inside fixing himself, and he should get out and he should hopefully stay together. Even if things get rocky, he shouldn't expect 15 more chances or 17 more chances or 45,000 more chances. I mean, that's ridiculous. So it's an awesome answer. I expected you to just be like, whatever.
Okay. One more thing, right? Remember I was talking about the support system earlier?
Yep.
That's another thing. When I was talking about support system, like, they call the prisons rehabilitation centers, but they don't help you rehabilitate. They help you recidivate, like Rose said. They make you come back. So as part of their support system, to help him rehabilitate while he's inside, that's like the key. Like the books, like we were saying, the books and the positive encouragement. And I've seen this a lot. Like, guys go to prison, and then they're arguing with their girl on the phone about stuff that the guy can't do anything about. And we understand that there's real life problems, but and especially if it's a guy who loves his family, who is used to taking care of his family, for you to throw this on him, like constantly telling him about your problems, about what's going on. And I know it's real life problem, and it's easier said than done, but to just continuously throw these issues on him and these problems and everything that's going on, it does nothing to help him rehabilitate at all. Because he's figuring out how am I going to get money to send to my house, or how am I going to do this to help? Who am I going to send over there to send some money, you know? So a lot of times that constantly, so let's say they get some money loaned while they're in prison, then they got to come home and pay that back. So now they're forced back into the life because it's so much. So just the support system has to be like 360 all around the board. Make sense?
Yeah, totally. So Renata said, how can we help them rehabilitate while they are inside?
Self-help. Everything self-help. Figure out what their interests are and kind of feed them things to read that kind of lead that way.
That's a great idea.
Figure out what they're into. Ask them what they like to do. Or if you know them before they went in, you know who they are for the most part. So just encourage them to study, go online and look for like college courses that they can take while inside online, books all that. It's a little, sometimes it's a little tedious, but it's worth it. Believe me, it's worth it.
That's such great advice and such a great idea, because first of all, that sets them up for something to do when they come home, so they can spend their whole entire time prepping for that day. So if they have, let's say, 5 years, that's 5 years of, let's say he loves fitness. That's 5 years of personal training books he could read and how to set up a business in personal training that he can read, and you guys can together work towards that. So he has something when he comes home to step into and doesn't have to face all the challenges Poochie said, trying to get a job, trying to get hired in a ride and this and that. If you guys set goals and work towards them throughout, it'll be a little bit easier. And that's something that we'll get into. I've gotten into that on a whole bunch of videos, but we'll get into that more in the future. And then also, like he said, you know, Adam's really, really into fitness. I'm really into fitness. And so if I were sending him something, if he was 23-year-old Adam who just got in and needed some guidance, I would look for motivational speakers who were fitness oriented, because you can find them in any type of, not speakers, I'm sorry, I mean authors, in any type of niche, whatever he's into. That's really great advice. Okay, so we're going to probably start to wrap up now. Does anybody else, do you guys have any more questions for Poochie? Poochie, do you have any last words of advice for the girls?
I wouldn't say last words, maybe the last for this time.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, last words for this time. Any parting thoughts for them?
Parting thoughts. Just that, the whole thing I was saying about not burdening, and I'm not saying that women are burdens or that the problems that they present are burdens, but sometimes we already feel so guilty for being in prison and leaving our families, that everything on top of that is like, it's like stabbing an open wound, like pressing an open wound, like damn. And when you don't do the work, when you don't do all the introspective work to become the best version of yourself, it's going to be so easy to come back, because most of us who are used to quick money, fast money, and a lot of us are uneducated. So you're always going to go back to what you feel comfortable doing. So that's it. Just help him out, encourage him, help him rehabilitate, because they're not going to do it while he's inside.
Good advice. Can I ask you a couple rapid fire questions? Just lighthearted. So what was the first meal you had when you got out?
Goat.
Goat? Is that your favorite?
Yes, of course. I'm Dominican.
Nice.
So it was like stewed goat with white rice, avocado.
Ooh, I didn't eat dinner. I'm hungry. That's delicious. And what is one thing that you miss from the inside?
Your husband.
Oh my God, you're gonna make me cry. That's so sweet.
I'm dead serious.
Oh my God, now you're making me lose my train of thought. What's one thing that you don't miss? What's one thing that you miss the least from the inside?
Being told when to go to bed.
Ooh, good one. Are you single?
It's complicated right now.
Okay, I'm only asking because remember last time we did a video and you had like a fan club of everyone was like, "What?"
Yeah, maybe
Okay,
not so much now. I done gained some. Maybe not so much now. I done gained some weight back and everything.
Oh, stop it. That's because we were on your page. Everybody here is taken.
Okay.
Oh, everybody's saying hello. Okay. Thank you, Poochie, for doing these interviews. You're a gem.
I missed it.
You missed it? Okay.
I honestly missed it.
We missed you too. I'm not kidding when I tell you that our videos that we did together are the most watched and commented videos of all time. So we'll make sure that we do this more consistently, more frequently. We'll help each other. You can help the girls. That helps you. And hopefully Adam will be joining us soon.
Soon. I can't wait.
I know. All right. You guys have a wonderful night. Thank you so much, Poochie. Everybody keep staying strong, keep loving strong, keep supporting one another through this journey because you're one day closer to all being behind you. Lots of love from my heart. Lots of love from Poochie's heart to all of yours. Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye.
Night.